Welcome back to the Whistleblown Podcast. I am your host, Christian Cruz, joined by my co host, Douglas Allen, and we are here to cover the Ravens and Dolphins primetime matchup this Thursday. A matchup that initially, in my honest opinion, Doug, I thought was going to be a snooze fest, especially if Lamar wasn't going to be in the lineup. But this is arguably their first healthy game as a team entering in this game, so it's going to be a lot more fun than we probably anticipated it to be. But before we get into this video, make sure you subscribe to the channel. You can follow us on all social media platforms. The link will be in the description. Doug, how you doing, my friend? What's going on with you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm glad, that Lamar is able to make this game and have a little bit more of a competitive game, not be a Tyler Huntley revenge match.
You're right. You're
So
right.
yeah, I'm looking forward to this Ravens team getting healthy.
Yeah, I'm definitely there with you, and I think, I mean, yeah, let's start with the Ravens. I feel like looking at the Ravens going into this game, knowing that they're going to be healthy, knowing that they're going to get Lamar back. I mean, the offense alone is going to be miles better than what it would have been with Tyler Huntley in the lineup. As great as Tyler Huntley has been playing, it's he's not Lamar Jackson. Um, and I
Mhm.
think that when you put Lamar in this lineup, he alone adds a touchdown, right? Himself. He is a walking touchdown at any given moment. When you look at the matchup history between these two teams since Lamar has been with the Baltimore Ravens, I mean, Doug, I mean, I'm not even trying to exaggerate here, but I mean, he has no problem beating the Miami Dolphins. I mean, it seems like this is a
Mhm.
team that I feel like every team has a team that they face where they typically play them really well and just dominate that matchup each time they play each other. And I think that this is one of
Yeah.
them.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things where you just see, the Ravens come in and kind of like flex their muscles when they play this team.
Agreed. Yeah.
And it to me, I feel like it should be the same. I mean, unless you are accounting for the rust, see if maybe there's some rust factor
Mm-hmm.
with Lamar missing a few games. But you throw a healthy Lamar out there, this team, this I wouldn't say you could be out each side, but you say as a team in totality, they're just not playing well. There's a reason why, with the trade deadline coming up, that this is a fire sale team, and I don't think there's any indication that shows that like Baltimore should be able to like they shouldn't be able to. There's no indication that Baltimore can't go in or they can't play this team and just dominate this team.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think one thing that's really going to help out this offense, let alone the Baltimore Ravens, is having Ronnie Stanley back. Their left tackle, I mean, he's been dealing with an ankle injury. He was limited in Wednesday's practice, but he said that he's going to be good to go. I mean, that's going to be huge for this offensive line. That's going to be huge for Lamar Jackson. Um, I also think when you look at, the last couple weeks, Derrick Henry, he's been on a roll. He's been finding the end zone.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if you have a healthy offensive line that has Linderbaum, that has Roddy Stanley, and you've seen again Derrick Henry have the production he's had, I mean, I think this could be a game where Lamar does dominate through the air, but I could see this being a heavy run
Mm-hmm.
game because when you look at the Miami Dolphins, Doug, I mean, not only are they injured throughout their team, I mean, they're going to be without Ashton Davis. That's their starting safety. Darren Waller's out. Bradley Chubb, he's limited, but it's not looking likely that he's going to be playing in this game. People are talking about he might be downgraded to doubtful by tomorrow. And Julian Hill, their starting tight end, is going to be out as well. But their defense is a liability. I mean, their secondary is not
Mm-hmm.
good at all. It's very young. I mean, they have practice squad guys playing in their secondary right now, and I just think defensively as a whole, I mean, there's some pieces that you like Jalen Phillips, but outside of that, they haven't shown all year that they're a defense that could stop an opposing offense, let alone an opposing offense that has Lamar Jackson in it.
Yeah, and they started the year off banged up in the secondary, doing some shuffle around. I believe last week Storm Duck went down. He's going to be out for the year now. And you see, that that secondary starting to wear thin, and
Yep.
they're just not playing very complimentary football on either side. And I will agree. I do think it's a game where for me, I feel like it's going to be a more like balanced attack. As long as Derek gets it going, they're going to keep feeding him, but they're also going to want to see what Lamar can do. Coming back and having a healthy offense and seeing just what he can do right now, what they look like, and try to stack another win in a division that you felt like was lost. But with the Steelers and the Bengals both losing, it's very important for Baltimore to pull a win tomorrow.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, I definitely agree with you, Doug. And to your point, with, their division rivals losing in recent weeks, I mean, you insert again a healthy Lamar Jackson, a healthy Derrick Henry, an offensive line that can not only protect Lamar, but can also efficiently do well in the run game. I mean, who's to say that they can't potentially go on a Bengals-esque run like we saw last year, where they were what, one game shy of potentially getting into the playoffs? I mean, it really came down to the last game. Now, I'm
Mm-hmm.
not saying they're going to go and win the division, but if you're telling me that your only real threat in this division is going to be an aging Aaron Rodgers with the DK Metcalf being your wide receiver one, and that defense that I believe is overpaid and has not lived up to that the contracts that they've given certain players, uh, I give them a good shot. I give them a good shot to at least compete, to potentially get to second or even, is it crazy to say, potentially the first team in that division? I mean, because like you said, I mean, I don't know about you, Doug, but I look at the Steelers. I think they're a team that I could see kind of coming down to earth a little bit. I could see them kind of flaring out as the season goes on. Aaron Rodgers has looked good, but I don't know. A healthy Lamar Jackson at the right time. Give me Lamar.
I will say for Baltimore is you've seen in the last 2 weeks that defense start putting it together, looking more as a like a competent group, a more Baltimore defense that you've seen.
Hmm.
The offense now starting to get healthy. You could see, like you said, you could see a team like this going on a run, especially when you have a two-time MVP at quarterback. And like you harped on with the division is you got Pittsburgh who is leading the division, but their defense is a disaster right now. They just
Right.
lost a safety. They traded for a safety. They're going to want to look to get another receiver because they signed FVS, and I don't think that's going to be something that's needle moving with them. He has, passed with Aaron Rodgers, but I don't think FVS right now is gonna help you. So with the Baltimore teams that we've seen over the years, if they can, start turning into that form in the next couple of weeks, there's no reason why this team couldn't compete for the division.
Yeah, you got it. I mean, I think you made a lot of excellent points. And to Miami's credit, though, right? They did just come off of an impressive win against the Atlanta Falcons, a game that
Mm-hmm.
I thought Atlanta was going to go in and have no problem, handling their business. And lo and behold, I
Yeah.
mean, they had their best offensive performance all year with a Tua that's pretty much playing with one eye. Which, I mean, if you were to tell me that, prior to going in this game that he was using any of his eyes, I kind of question you a little bit. But ultimately, yeah, I mean, they got it going in the run game, they got it going in the pass game as well. And I thought they were clicking on all cylinders as well, especially on the defensive side. But this is a Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry Baltimore Ravens. This is not Kirk Cousins and Kyle Pitts and Bijan Robinson, led by Raheem Morris. But yeah, yeah, I think that this should be. I don't want to sound arrogant, but this should be an easy game for the Baltimore Ravens. I mean, I think they're saying to themselves, I mean, this division's wide open. Um, you know, we're going to be heading to Miami. Actually, I believe no. Let me double check on that real quick. yeah, they're going to be heading to Miami. So, warm weather. You ain't got to worry about the cold. If you live up north, you already know it's very cold right now. Um, give me the Baltimore Ravens in this one.
Yeah, and I just to piggyback on what you said with Miami having that game last week, if you think of the like you look at that game and you see how good they played, the problem with Miami is they will have those games where you'll see to a click, you'll see him throw for three touchdowns, a bunch of yards, and they look like the Miami team that you expected to see, and then the next game they'll lay a dud. Tua got two interceptions, no touchdowns, and they just can't do anything. So it's what Miami team is going to show up this week because so
Right.
far this year no we've seen no reason to believe that this team is just gonna turn on the lights and be able to go
Right.
and compete with the best of them. So I like Baltimore in this spot. I feel like Baltimore should be able to stack another win here and keep pace in their division.
For sure. Yeah, I definitely agree with you there. Again, I mean, for me, I'm really going to be looking at this Miami Dolphins defense. How are they going to attempt to contain Lamar Jackson in the pocket? How is the secondary going to look? Lamar, when you look at their, again, last two matchups, Lamar loves to air it out against this Dolphins secondary. And this is arguably one of, if not their worst secondary that they've had, at least in my opinion, within the last 3 years. So for me, I really want to see can their defense step up offensively again. If they can build off of that win against Atlanta, where prior to the Atlanta game, Tua wasn't really fighting Jalen Waddle that much. In terms of the run game, it could have been better. I mean, Achan is still Achan, but they were clicking. They were clicking on all cylinders. So
Yeah.
if they can just build off of that and the defense can continue to play the way that they did against Atlanta, I think that they would make it competitive. They'll make it close-ish, but I see this as a hungry Ravens team, so I'm there with you.
Yeah, for Miami is defensively you have to think where is your like pass rush going to get go? Who or where's your pass rush going to come from? Where's your pressure? How are you going to get pressure on Lamar? Because you've seen when you could speed Lamar up and you can get him uncomfortable is where you could start slowing down this offense. So for Miami, I'm looking at it's not. I'm with you with the secondary, and with your secondary going there, you're going to need to get home quick. So I'm looking at Miami's that defensive front, especially if a Bradley Chubb can't play. Can Jalen Phillips, can this defensive line put some pressure on Lamar and get him uncomfortable to try to stay in this game? If not, then I think it's going to be a long day.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, just to briefly talk about it, I've been very critical of Harbaugh personally. I think that they have had some really nice teams in recent years, and yeah, granted, Lamar has not played that great in the playoffs, but just speaking with Ravens fans, speaking with a good friend of mine who's a Baltimore Ravens content creator, for me, I'm really looking at Harbaugh again this year. And if again, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt that this team has been severely injured, and every team deals with injuries, but I do feel like the Ravens are a team that just deals with the most unluckiest injuries every single year it seems. So I'll give him the benefit of the doubt in that regard, but we have seen games where they just come underprepared. They make boneheaded decisions. They shoot themselves in the foot. Sometimes, I mean, not sometimes, a lot of times you see some again just questionable play calling. Especially in situations when you should be giving Derrick Henry the ball more, and they're leaning more towards the pass, and you're seeing Lamar having some turnover worthy throws, and a lot of times it ends up being turnover worthy plays again, like I said in the playoffs. So if for me, Doug, if Harbaugh, as long as Lamar is healthy, can't stack up at least make this a 500 team, if not better. with how many games you have for the rest of the season, the strength of schedule, if we can't get at least 7 to 9 wins, in my honest opinion, Harb's got to go. I mean, they are, in my opinion, just wasting Lamar Jackson's prime right now, considering that he should be a 3-time MVP.
Yeah. I think honestly, I could see this game being one of those situations where if the Ravens find a way to lose this game, I think it's one of those things where you start looking near the trade deadline and you start thinking, do I want to start trading some of these older players? Because the Ravens do have, you know, you have your do you want to keep going with Likely? Do you want Mark Andrews? Do you want to get rid of a Marcus Williams? Do you want to get rid of some of these older players like Kyle Van Noy's not getting younger, but he's still productive? Do you want to maybe try to get some picks from him? It's one of those things where you drop a L this week, you're looking at the trade deadline and you're looking at the end of the year and you're thinking, okay, should I start dumping some of these players, trying to get picks and move on to next year? Now, who you have at quarterback is not going to like that, decision. But at the end of the day is, you're going to, for the Ravens, you got to start looking at you have an MVP at quarterback, you have a defense that has been great for the last few years, and you could build off of some things. So there's going to be a lot of things I feel like at stake here, because if you win, you could keep in pace in your division. You lose, you drop another game, and then you start looking towards the deadline and how you want to assess the rest of the season.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, there's a, there's going to be some games this year where I'm expecting them to win, as long as Lamar can stay healthy, and this is one of them. Um, I like the matchups, whether it's offensively or defensively. Which, to be fair, I mean, their defense for the Baltimore Ravens hasn't been that great either. I don't feel like it's been as good as we've seen in recent years. And you insert a Jair Alexander, there should be expectations. And ultimately their run defense is extremely suspect. I wouldn't be shocked if they win this game if they try to be a little aggressive with getting someone in the interior. Maybe they, call the New York Jets and look into Quinn Williams, see what the, trade value would be. Because I feel like if you can stack a win here and you look at the rest of the schedule, I mean, I don't really see, the Browns or the Bengals being a threat as long as Lamar is in the lineup. For me, it's really just the Pittsburgh Steelers, who I think is a very beatable team. I mean, we just saw them lose
Yeah.
to, the Cleveland Browns just recently. So,
Yeah.
again,
Especially with you got Joe,
yeah.
now he might miss Sunday with the shoulder injury. So you insert Browning back into there, and we saw how that goes.
Hmm.
So yeah, for the Ravens, you can stack something. So I agree with you.
Yeah, I mean, again, I mean, outside of, and again, I want to give them the benefit of the doubt that they've been injured, right? They haven't
Yeah,
played with a fully healthy team all season, but I've seen guys on that defense make some mental errors. Again, the run defense, and I'm gonna definitely look at that as well. But again, let us know your thoughts below. Don't forget to follow us on all social media platforms, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you guys on the next video.